Okay, now let's discuss the videos from week two. So, in week two, you answered SCORM activity one for module, SCORM activity for module one, your replacement instead of your printed module. And also, you viewed two videos with accompanying questions. So, we will discuss the videos now. I will not discuss the questions yet, just because, again, I will reopen these questions for answering in consideration for those people who had on confusions on how to access the questions. Um, so we will just discuss the videos and not the questions. Okay, so let's go to the video. So presentation 4, this is the video. So please take note that this video
The Earth is a remarkable
I
piece of
find it useful, right? Um, however, it tackles some of the top topics that are, you know, not supposed to be in Module 2. So in Module 2, we're just concerned about the interaction between the plate tectonic boundaries, right? Whether they are convergent, divergent, or they are um, transform. They form a transform fault boundary. But this one, I felt it very informative because it also, discusses compositional and mechanical layers, just like uh, how I discussed it to you. And although Nasha, it has some concepts that we should be discussing later on. So this concept of um, Wegener, Alfred Wegener, and the continental drift theory, we should be discussing that later on in module 4, I think, right? But it's this is quite informative also. So what I really am interested in here is just the this notion of what a convergent boundary is versus what divergent boundaries are, and obviously what um, transform boundaries are. So these are transform boundaries, right? And also, let's fast forward it. You have the divergent types of boundaries, right? So that was just the main goal of the videos of this video. Now, uh, there are some additional information which I feel are also important, but not really within module 2. But it's good to know some of them. But that's just the purpose of this video. Again, just to let you know the three types of boundaries: the convergent one, where two plates are colliding; the divergent one, where two plates are kind of moving apart; and then the transform fault one, where two boundaries not moving apart or moving towards, but sliding past each other, rubbing each other's edges, right? So that's the goal um, for this video. Now, when we go to the next video, so these are the questions. We move forward. That's a question. If we move to the next, by the way, if you're not familiar with this, you can also do this. So you can watch the video and then you move to the next. Of course, you have to mark it complete, just as discussed in the previous video. But you go to the quiz, answer it, and then you go to the next one, which is the video, another video. And this video, um, this is just showing you the idea that the continents that we have today were not as they were millions of years ago and will not be as they are millions of years in the future also. So I am showing this to you just to give you a sense that this concept that, land masses in the earth actually change and they migrate all around the globe is not that far-fetched of an idea. It's not, um, because a lot of people think of, the land masses are so huge, and though it's really impossible for them to move. but that's because you are at the human time scale. But if you are looking at the history of the Earth from the perspective of from the time frame of geological timescales, then you would see that these concepts are not that far-fetched. Okay, so again, that's the only thing that I can say without getting too much into the questions, because if I do that, then I would be answering the questions already. And since you have to do the questions first, at least for those people who were not able to um, proceed with the questions because they did not know that they have to mark the previous activity associated to it. Okay, so that would be the discussion for presentations 4, the video, and presentations 5. Again, I could not discuss it at length just because some people will still be answering the questions later on when I reopen the submission facility. Okay, so I think that would be all, at least for this part of this discussion.